Of course, the world today is still full of strife and conflict. Racial and religious tensions still persist, and the vast separation between rich and poor remains an isolating factor in every part of the globe. So the question has to be, what is the alternative? Is there a better way for human beings to interrelate, or will the next century be as full of conflict as the last? We live in a fundamentally divided society. The Baha'is believe that world unity will be achieved through a breaking down of those divisions on every possible level. To encourage this, Baha'is practice the teachings of unity given to them by Baha'u'llah. These teachings are often boiled down to 12 principles, which guide every Baha'i in their work. Oneness of God. Oneness of mankind. Oneness of religion. The individual search for truth. Religion as the basis for unity. The essential harmony of science and religion. Equality of men and women. Elimination of the extremes of wealth and poverty. A universal compulsory education. A spiritual solution to economic problems. A universal auxiliary language, and a world peace upheld by a world government. Of course, no one could possibly tackle all of these issues in their lifetime. These principles are more a set of ideals, goals, towards which Baha'is should focus themselves and their actions. The Baha'is don't look to the unity of mankind as a purely political struggle. Rather, they see it as a personal and moral transformation that must take place across the face of humanity. In fact, despite their focus on world peace, Baha'is never engage in partisan political activities. They focus instead on spiritualizing their personal lives and on developing unified Baha'i communities.
What we see today in the political scene worldwide, and especially in the United States, is a highly polarized population around politics. This shows that the purpose of government and politics, which is to mobilize human resources, has been forgotten, and contention has become the mainstream.
The mission of the faith is the unification of mankind. We see partisan politics as very divisive. So we are actually forbidden as Baha'is to run for partisan office or to participate in partisan politics.
Baha'u'llah has brought a way in which decisions can be arrived that benefit all people, not just a certain segment, while others have to suffer.
In their message of peace, they call the Baha'i community a single social organism representative of the diversity of the human family. It is offered to the world as a model for study, an example of how individuals from around the globe can come together in peaceful coexistence. The Universal House of Justice is the supreme ruling body of the faith and the heart of the Baha'i World Center in Haifa, Israel. The House oversees both the spiritual and administrative aspects of the Baha'i Faith. Even on the international scale, the House operates much as the local spiritual assemblies do, with 9 members collectively deciding on the issues of the faith. From the World Center, the Baha'is maintain their visibility in the world community. In international organizations like the United Nations, Baha'is believe that the seed of mankind's potential is beginning to form. The Baha'i international community has non-governmental consultative status with the UN's Economic and Social Council, and they promote unity through an improved presence of the United Nations worldwide. They encourage world leaders to view peace as the next stage in the evolution of this planet. They also support over 300 global development projects a year. Baha'i pioneers foster the building of community in all corners of the globe. For many, this work is one of the clearest ways to express their faith.
The Baha'is are helping in all aspects, not just in the community building, but also through their efforts at the United Nations to help educate the world on the new principles that have been brought by Baha'u'llah.
And we're very involved in something like the United Nations, because the United Nations is about a coming together of the different nations and the different nations working in collaboration, which is very much in keeping with the principle of the unification of mankind.
The difficult question then becomes, what steps can Baha'is take at home in their everyday lives to encourage peace? Is there a time and a place for it among the hustle and bustle of modern society? And will the message be accepted by those around them? In October of 1985, the Universal House of Justice, the governing body of the Baha'i Faith, sent a message of peace to all the people of the world. Much like the letters of Baha'u'llah, this message was personally sent to international leaders in hopes of fostering unity among the nations. The great peace towards which people of goodwill throughout the centuries have inclined their hearts, of which seers and poets for countless generations have expressed their vision, and for which from age to age the sacred scriptures of mankind have constantly held the promise, is now, at long last, within the reach of the nations. This message was titled The Promise of World Peace, and it argued that peace was just within our grasp, the next stage in the evolution of this planet. But it warned that no serious attempt to achieve world peace can ignore religion. They believed that world order can be founded only on a spiritual belief in the oneness of humanity. Baha'u'llah called this belief the first fundamental prerequisite for the reorganization of the world as one country, the home of humankind. The promise of world peace expands on Baha'u'llah's vision, calling for no less than the reconstruction and the demilitarization of the whole civilized world. A world organically unified in all the essential aspects of its life, its political machinery, its spiritual aspiration, its trade and finance, its script and language, and yet infinite in the diversity of the national characteristics of its federated units. This is a far-reaching vision for the future of mankind, but the message of reconstruction is profound. If old institutions and ways of thought have become ineffective, then the time has come to move past them and allow our society to evolve.